You're listening to the Blue 82 podcast, hosted by Craig and Nicholas. Please like and subscribe so we know that you like what we're doing. And now, let's talk football. Blue 82!
Welcome back, everyone, to the Blue 82 podcast. I'm your host, Craig, and my co-host, Nicholas, as always. And this is going to be episode 8 of the 2023 season, off season, whatever you want to call it. My voice is getting there. We're going to power through it. And today we're doing what, Nick? Team rankings?
Yup.
Love that.
For our team rankings.
Alrighty.
Shit.
Bear with us 1 second. Just want to make sure, do a quick test because we've been having struggles. Alrighty.
Hello.
1 second. Just want to make sure, do a quick test because we've been having struggles. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
You can hear it good on you?
Perfect.
Or you didn't check it?
I'm gonna check. Hold on. Hello? Yeah, I hear it.
Okay, cool. All right, so it's gonna be a quick one, just because still nursing the voice. And there's not a lot to talk about right now. We're kind of in that lull period, waiting on things to happen. Yeah.
The dead zone.
So we're gonna run through, do some team rankings. We're gonna start with NFC North, and again, like always, this is our thoughts, our opinions. May not be right, probably gonna be wrong. We're just taking pretty much how the team was last year and the couple moves they made, and this is where we think,
and free agency.
Yeah, and this is where we think they're gonna end up. But
based on our two brain opinions.
Yep. With that being said,
real quick, so S tier, those are like our Super Bowl type teams. So we're like 4 teams there because all, any of the conference teams essentially can make it to the Super Bowl. It's one game, you get one shot to punch your ticket to the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
A, that's essentially our, what is that, like our playoff teams, like division type winners, and stuff like that. And then B is more like your wild card potential playoff teams. C is like your below average teams, and then D's they're just dog shit. They're rebuilding, nothing to look forward to except the draft next year.
Yep. All right.
And then, like you said, we start with the NFC this time. We always start with the AFC, so Craig fucking mixed it up this time.
I wanted to change it up a little bit, you know? All right, so first we got the Green Bay Packers, who
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, no Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, kind of a question mark. I don't know if their roster was the greatest last year.
Now, Craig.
Okay.
There's no way they go 3 for 3, back to back Hall of Fame type quarterbacks.
Yeah.
There's just no way, right? I cannot see the Packers being that blessed to see Brett Favre play and then immediately retire, whatever, move on from him and have Aaron Rodgers, and then move on from him and now have Jordan Love. Like that
would be insane.
Like insane fucking luck.
Yeah. They went 8-9 last year, right? With Aaron Rodgers. I feel like this is kind of the same team. They added some pieces, but I'm not sold on the pieces they added. So I think it's Packers, and I feel like they figure out ways to win normally. But I think we see a step down. Maybe they win 6-7 games this year. I feel like they're the C team for me.
Sorry, I had to go on there. My bad.
You're good.
But I'm completely on board with C. I don't really like this team, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think their defense isn't going to be as good. They got Rashawn, Gary, but other than that, like, not much else. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then we have no idea how good Jordan Love's going to be. We've seen him for like a game or 2 games, pretty much, it feels like at this point.
Yeah. Moving on, we have the Detroit Lions. They're kind of like, it's kind of tough because they're on the up and up, yes. I wish they made a couple different moves on the draft. Their draft was questionable, so it's hard to like put them anything higher than B, I feel like. They're kind of middle of the pack, wild card. I could see a playoff team like somewhere around that range. But I feel like if they did a little bit better in the early rounds of the draft, I would be willing to put them a little higher, maybe in A. But again, like we mentioned before with the Lions, you got to show me before I can get on board with that because you've been so bad for so long that I've got to see it first.
Yeah, I completely agree. They also have two. I want to say they have a couple of players suspended, don't they, from gambling?
Like 3, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of players that they missing. Wasn't it Jamison Williams?
Jamison Williams is one of them. He's missing 5 games.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not very good for your first 5 games is a lot in the NFL world. I feel like.
And the way I look at it, I like the Lions team better than the Packers right now. So that's why I kind of have them separated.
I just don't really like their defense still.
Yeah, it's still bad.
That's the big problem for me. But to me, I would honestly, depending on who teams they put in to B, they might get knocked to C, like top of C.
I'm down to wait and see what happens.
But yeah.
I
don't hate them, but I'm not in love with them.
Yeah, I hear you. Moving on, we got the Vikings, which this is a tough one. They went 13-3. They were our team last year. We were always riding high on them. Their defense sucked.
Stunk.
They won a bunch of close games.
Stunk.
Their defense sucks just as bad. I feel like it's going to be the same team, but I feel like they're not going to get lucky this year and win 13 games. I think they're going to end up being middle of the pack team. I feel like they could make the playoffs. I'm not counting that out at all because their offense is pretty good, really good. But I just don't know what to expect from this team right now.
Yeah, I have no idea. They were fucking bad.
So bad.
Last year, looking at the defensive rankings for points per game, we have the Bears, the Cardinals, the Vikings, the Colts, and then the Lions. So literally 1, 2, 3 worst. So what is that? Top 3 worst defense, and then 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to put them at A, but they gotta go B.
They gotta go B.
I think they're a B team for sure. The way this division's set up, it depends. If Jordan Love isn't as good as people think he is, then the Packers aren't gonna be very good at all.
Yeah.
If Justin Fields doesn't take a step, the Bears are gonna be a cakewalk, and the Lions with that defense, I don't know how you win games. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a toss up.
Yeah.
But that division should honestly be pretty easy for the Vikings.
I like it. Moving on.
Justin
the Bears.
Jefferson's a dog.
Who?
Justin Jefferson.
Oh yeah, that guy's an animal. Moving on, we got the Bears. They made a lot of moves. There's talks that Justin Fields is taking the next step when it comes to throwing the ball.
Defense last year.
But they were rebuilding. I don't know if we would keep them in rebuilding. I feel like we could go C or D here, either one. But again, they were so bad last year that I don't know if they take a massive step this year. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a 7-10 team and then they added all these pieces. They were a 3-14 team and then they added all these pieces. So I'm not expecting much.
The crazy part is, I just realized, or it just hit me now, that these 3 teams at the bottom, the top 3 worst defenses last year are the Vikings and the Bears, right?
Yeah.
And then the Lions are top 5. They're all in the same division.
It is funny.
It didn't occur to me, but yeah, I agree. They were a 3-4 win team. I really think they can only go up maybe 1 or 2. I don't see. It's almost the same as the Jaguars were. You had back-to-back first picks. How much better can you get? Unless they have a crazy season where they just put it all together. Everyone plays way above their potential. I don't see them being a B or an A team at all.
No.
I think this is clear-cut C, potentially probably even a D.
Yeah. I think I'm cool with C just because they've made a lot of strides
just because of
to
the
get
potential.
better. Yeah, and there's potential there. But yeah, it's harder to put them any higher than that for sure.
Because they literally just had the first overall pick, so.
Yeah.
Granted, they traded it out, traded out of it, but you were literally the worst team last year.
Yep. Alrighty, so that's gonna wrap up NFC North. Giants,
the NFC
Nick.
East.
Where do you think the Giants belong?
I think B's there.
Okay. I like that.
They made a playoffs last year. They played definitely above like their potential for sure,
Yeah, which we talked
but
about.
I could see a slight fall off. Maybe they lose a game or two, but I still think this team is pretty set up to be pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Like it seems like it's just a lot of young pieces almost. Like their defense, they added a few pieces for the draft last year. This year they had a pretty fucking elite draft this year. Not
They
gonna
got
lie.
Jalen Hyde in the 3rd round. That's a steal.
Exactly. Like I fuck with what the Giants did this offseason.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be a pretty good team.
It's a tough division, but I still think I could see them squeaking a playoff spot out. You know what I mean?
We talk about a lot. The NFC is pretty bad.
Yeah, it is.
Like just looking at it right now, like you're fighting. Like how many wild card spots is it? 2 or 3? Right? 3.
3.
So,
I think 7 teams make it, so 4 divisions and then 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So looking at the North divisions, clear cut, the Vikings are probably gonna be the division winner. I don't see maybe the Lions are the only team giving them trouble.
I don't know if
The
I'd
Bears,
say
the
clear
Bears are
cut,
good.
but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Then you got what, the Cowboys, and after that, I don't think the South is challenging them at all.
Who, the
Like,
South? Oh
yeah,
yeah.
like I don't see any of those other teams making a run for a wild card. So I think they probably will be pretty good chance for making it.
Yeah, I think so. This might be another season where we see 3 NFC East teams in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
All right, so next we got the Cowboys. I'm a hater of the Cowboys. I always let it be known. But for the most part, I like to pride myself in not being biased. You know what I mean? I feel like they always find ways to win in the regular season. They do well. Like their roster's good.
They're a good regular season team, it seems like.
So it's like
They're
I feel like
a postseason team.
Yeah. I feel like just because I put them a step above the Giants, I don't trust them. I don't think they make it anywhere. But I do think, like, if we're talking about team rankings, like, they go there, right?
All right.
Your thoughts?
I mean, I can see it. It just depends what Dak Prescott you get.
Yeah.
Is he just a turnover machine, or is he careful with the ball again? Like,
I mean, if you want to say B, I'm cool with it. I'm trying to be
I'd love
unbiased.
to see what teams are there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a good team. It just, again, it depends, like, what version of Dak Prescott you get. Is it going to be the Dak Prescott from 2 or 3 years ago, or the one that we just saw last year?
Right. I agree. Moving on, we got the Eagles, who were a Super Bowl team and lost a couple pieces, but then added even more pieces. So it's like, I don't see this team taking a step back. Like, if anything, they take a step forward, which is crazy to think because of how good they were last year. I feel like not much has to be said about the Eagles.
They had a really good draft.
Yeah.
Again, it's going to depend on, they're relying on a lot of younger guys, but if those guys are as good as they think they are and as good as people think they are, then
I don't know though. They got a lot of veterans still.
Yeah, but I mean, you got relying on, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about, like, you're relying on guys, like, rookies essentially to fix, like, to fill the gaps of the guys that you just lost, essentially is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, you lost the defensive tackle to the 49ers, I think, or whatever it was, right? That Hargrave.
Yeah, they still got Fletcher Cox, and then they got Jordan
Davis
and Jalen Carter.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
I feel you. I do not disagree. Moving on. This is a tough team for me because Sam Howell's going to end up being their quarterback. We talk about it all the time, how they have a good roster. Their defense should be primed to be one of the better ones in the league. It never works out that way. I don't know if this is the year that we take that and get that to that point finally. B tier? C tier?
I think they're top of C.
Top of C? Okay, I'm cool with that. This is just a tough team to rank because they should be better than they are.
They're just a middle of the pack type team.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely should be better. I agree. Their defense never plays up to fucking par.
Yeah. Maybe this is the year with Chase Young not getting his fifth-year option. Maybe they
he
turn it
decides to
up.
actually do something.
Maybe he doesn't get hurt this year and actually plays the whole season. Moving on, we got the Falcons, who, if I'm not mistaken, were 7-10 last year. 7-10, yeah. They're gonna rely a lot on running the ball. We don't know what Desmond Ridder is. C tier?
Yeah, I think so. They got Bijan in the first round, so they're basically just gonna be a run first team, and
Yeah.
basically it looks like they're gonna be wanting Desmond Ridder to just almost be a game manager, play action it, make the short passes, the quick reads. But we'll see.
All right. Next, we got the Bucks. Baker Mayfield at quarterback. What do you think?
I mean, we talked about it before we started this, and I think, like I told you, like they got Chris Godwin, they got Mike Evans. Like the team's not like it's not like it's like the worst team ever. It's just I don't know if their defense is gonna be good again. Like Tom Brady's not there. How much does he affect that team? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think they could be a top of C, lower B type team, maybe.
Okay. I think I'll put them in C, and then we'll look at it afterwards. See if we need to move them up or not. Next, we have the Panthers, who were also 7-10, I think. Let me check. Yeah, 7-10 as well. Added a lot of pieces. Got Bryce Young. I feel like all these NFC South teams are in the same boat, essentially. Like, I don't know what to expect. Like, I told Nick earlier, like, I have higher hopes, I think, for the Panthers than I do any of these other teams. But the Panthers, for me, like, a lot of it remains to be seen, you know what I mean? Like, it depends on how Bryce Young plays. Depends on how all the new acquisitions
like their defense
play.
wasn't bad last year.
Yeah.
I don't think, but again, a lot is on Bryce Young to pretty much pull this franchise through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to say they had a chance last year at the playoffs, didn't they? And it came down to like the last two games.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They're going to run the ball a lot, I think. I think this is going to be a running team as well, at least for the first couple years. Just to help settle in. I'd say probably C
call
for now. And again, might move a couple up, but I just don't know what to expect from them. Like, I have high hopes for them, but I don't know. Next, we have the Saints. Again, kind of the same scenario for me. They got Derek Carr, who is supposed to make the team better. I think he can do that. I don't think
they did resign Jameson too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Jameis Winston.
I don't think Derek Carr is a terrible quarterback, so I think he can get the job done, but I don't know if this roster is still as good. You got the Alvin Kamara question marks.
There's just a lot of like question marks on offense. Like,
Yeah.
As Michael Thomas, is he okay? Is he healthy again now? Like, he had what, turf toe or something, whatever it was last year, his foot, something like that. Again, Alvin Kamara, no one knows what's going on with that. Their defense is like pretty stacked, honestly. It's just a matter of who's their quarterback and what they can do. But again, it's Derek Carr. I don't really have faith in Derek Carr.
Yeah. I think we put him in C, and we can revisit this division once the rest of the rankings shake out. But moving on, we got what? The NFC West. Seattle Seahawks. I think this is an A team. I think they were on the up and up last year. They finished, 9-7, made the playoffs, got first rounded by the 49ers, and then added even more pieces that I think is going to help their team. And I think they're probably going to win this division, to be honest, which is crazy because I know the 49ers are in there, but I think they win this division.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I like this team, Nick.
Okay.
Like, on paper, like, looking at it, I like it. Like, yeah, I know it's Geno, and there is a question mark there of, was it a one-year wonder? Like, what's going to happen? But
if Geno does what he did last year, I can see them winning it, but You're gonna need to see some strides out of that defense. That offense looks pretty nasty on paper, though.
So if you wouldn't put them winning the division, would you still put them in A or B?
I think they're an A team, but
Okay.
I don't. I think I think I still favor the 49ers.
No, the 49ers are nasty. I'm not like discrediting the 49ers in that sense. I just think I really like this team. Like,
I know. All right, I get it.
Next we got the Cardinals. Shambles. They're
First D tier team.
Yeah, they're definitely in shambles. I don't know if much needs to be said about them. They're probably not gonna have Kyler for the first half of the year. I wouldn't think.
Probably not.
Their roster is bad. They still got D-Hop. They got Buda Baker still, but I don't see them competing.
I feel like it's like an older team just aging out.
Yeah.
And just not as good. I definitely think they're probably going to end up with a top 3 pick next year.
I think so. Moving on. 49ers, A tier.
Yep.
There's question
Especially
marks.
S tier too, honestly.
Yeah, and that might be something we revisit. There's a question at quarterback. Who's going to be the quarterback? I'm hearing Sam Darnold. I'm hearing Trey Lance. I'm hearing Brock Purdy might not be able to throw the whole season. I don't know. But I think in that offense, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. You know what I mean?
Nope. You got McCaffrey just running for you, taking a nice little check downs. You got George Kittle running over the middle. And then who do they got? Brandon Ayuk and what's the other guy's name? Yeah, that offense is stacked.
Yeah. Next we got the Rams. Definitely a D tier. I know they got Stafford, but
No, they got, what is it, Stetson Bennett?
Oh, yeah, Stetson Bennett. Do we even know if Stafford's going to play? Like,
I honestly don't know. I heard, wasn't it his shoulder or something? He had shoulder surgery, something like that. Let me look it up, see if there's anything updating.
I think this roster is just bad, though. Like,
I think so, too.
You got a couple guys here and there, but don't get me wrong, but Aaron Donald's still playing, right?
Yeah.
Surprised they haven't traded him.
I don't really see anything about him.
Okay. Well, I think he was dealing with a back thing last year. I know that. And a shoulder,
it says 4 days ago, Rams wide receiver Van Jefferson talks about this offseason is going with him and the benefit of having Matthew Stafford throwing.
So he is throwing, I guess.
Says he's already hard at work. So I don't know. He must be good to go then.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Either way, I don't think this team's going to be very good. They literally...
it said April... it says April 17th. He's healthy and full go for the offseason program.
Okay, so. Cool. This team sold their soul for a Super Bowl. And now they're reaping the benefits of that. So I don't think they're going to be very good.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Moving on, what do you think about the Browns, Nick?
The AFC, huh? Probably a C, just a mid team, man. I don't really like it. I like Nick Chubb. Hate the quarterback situation. All that shit that went down.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really know what to expect out of this team.
Yeah, I agree. They got some pieces. They got a good roster, but again, like a lot of these teams, I feel like the question marks, man, like what Watson are they getting? You know what I mean? That's really the biggest deal.
Literally all 32 teams depend on the quarterback.
Yep.
And that's just the day and age of the
nature of the beast.
Exactly. Like, it's so hard to judge some of these teams. Like, Watson could show up as Texan prime Watson, whatever, or show up as the one we saw last year, or be even worse. Who knows? Like, another thing too is like their team also like last year, like their defense is pretty fucking like middle of the pack. It seems like their offense has pieces, but I don't really know what to expect.
Yeah, I agree. Next we got the Cincinnati Bengals is for me is a S tier, right?
Yup.
Yeah. They lost a couple safeties. They added some pieces. They added to the O-line again. We still know all the weapons they got. There's a question mark at running back. Don't know what's going to happen there. Haven't heard anything, so I would think by now it's still going to be Joe Mixon, but we'll see. But either way, I think they easily compete as one of the top teams in the AFC. Next, we got the Steelers. Nick, what do you think about the Steelers?
I mean, I think it's like a C-tier team, man, honestly.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett wasn't great, wasn't terrible last year. TJ Watt, if he can stay healthy, he's probably going to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, though. Minka Fitzpatrick is a all-pro type safety. They did get Joey Porter this draft, so I'm curious to see how good he's going to be playing for his father's team. Other than that, I don't know. Their weapons are a little bit questionable. Is George Pickens that good or whatever? Didn't really see too much from him last year. I know it seemed like too that a lot of times he wasn't getting looked at, so I don't know. Najee Harris also too didn't really seem like the guy that they drafted from Alabama. You know what I mean?
Yeah, their O-line was bad last year, so I feel like that had a little bit of something to do with it. But even then, he still looked bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you saw it, but I did see that Mike Tomlin apparently reached out to J.J. Watt, so.
Really?
That's what I saw.
That would be crazy. Could you imagine, dude? J.J. Watt at D tackle and his brother at DN, like, oh my God.
And I want to say their other brother was on the team. I don't know if he's
the fullback. Derek Watt.
Derek Watt.
Is. I think he is.
Excuse me.
That would be cool. All three Watt brothers on the team, even if it was for a year. I always thought that's what was going to happen. Like he was going to leave, and then his last year was going to be playing with his brother wherever. He was going to sign a 1-year deal. Like
that's what I thought he was going to do, but never did.
Never did.
I'm kind of shocked about it. I'm surprised he even went to the Cardinals in the first place.
Yeah, me too.
Like I don't know why he went there.
I think he thought they were going to be something, and they weren't at all. All right, moving on.
Hopkins lied to him.
Yeah, I think so. Moving on, we got the Ravens, who I feel like their defense always competes in games, right? Like that's never not the case
year
with
in and year
the
out,
Ravens.
the defense needs to be like top 10.
And then it's always the question mark of the quarterback healthy, Lamar staying healthy, weapons, can their offense keep up? I think this is an A team for me. I think they added pieces on the offense. They got a new OC. I think they pass the ball a little bit more, and it helps Lamar out. J.K. Dobbins is another year removed from his ACL injury. Same thing with Gus Edwards. I think that's a big step for their run game. I think this team takes a step up this year.
I agree. I think as long as Lamar plays like 15, 16 games, I don't see them not making the playoffs.
Yeah. And hopefully those games are in the middle of the season and not the end.
And they might even give the Bengals a run for the division. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think they got the chance to do that. Like their team is always competitive, kind of like the Steelers. Like I know we put the Steelers in C, just because I don't trust their quarterback yet. But again, always competitive. They always end up middle of the pack at least.
I feel like
and then
very
some.
rarely do you ever see them like get blown out or just get dogged on. Like it always seems like they're in every game and potentially making the playoffs or just being like a winning type team.
Even in that playoff game against the Bengals, the Ravens almost won. You know what I mean? Like,
I actually was watching that game the other day. Like, if they don't fumble that goal line,
yeah, exactly.
Who knows what happens? Like, and that was not even like a Lamar-led Ravens team either.
No, I agree. Moving on, we're on the AFC East. Starting off with the Dolphins. This is an A team for me. I think they were good last year. It just, again, there's a question mark of can Tua play 17 games? If he does, I think they can very well be one of the better teams in the AFC. I just think this offense is way too powerful, is way too good. You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree. I think a lot of people like shit on Tua and rightfully whatever for his like the last 4 games of the Dolphins season.
Yeah.
But like the 2 games Tua didn't even play was against the Jets and the Pats, I think, or something like that. He didn't even play those ones. And then the one that he played against the Chargers, like that to me was like our first downfall was like against the 49ers, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people were saying like, oh, like the Mike McDaniel offense got figured out, but like if you watch that game, in my opinion, there was guys wide the fuck open. It's just Tua didn't play good. He had a bad game. It happens,
Yeah.
right? Like he still put up like 300 yards. You're telling me that's a shutdown offense? Like, come on. And that was the best defense last year.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense to me. And then against the Bills, like both times we were in every game. It is what it is. Like you win some, you lose some. I just think there's just no way in hell a team with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey on each side of the ball, like you're not gonna be a good team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's hard not to believe that. You know what I mean?
Like as long as that defense goes from like 20th to 10, 11, 12, like somewhere around that range, this team is gonna be a lot more better.
Yeah.
Like it really depends on their defense, in my opinion, because last year their offense was carrying I think their offense was like top 3, top 4, something like that, and then their defense was almost one of the worst.
Yeah.
So if that improves, then I would love to see this team because it would be a lot more balanced. Hopefully they can get their run game going a bit more this year, but I'm excited to be as a Dolphins fan. I can't wait. And I think Tua goes from being a one vote MVP candidate to an actual top 3 candidate.
Okay.
As long as he plays like 16 games at least.
Yeah. I will say on the defensive side of the ball, they've made all the right steps to improve that defense. You know what I mean? They got new DC. They got another corner. They got Jalen Ramsey as well. And then it's another year in the system for Bradley Chubb. So hopefully he turns out to what y'all traded him to be. You know what I mean? Like if that happens.
I mean, the thing is the biggest thing to me is we got rid of our DC. That was the biggest thing to me. Last year we played literally with injured corners, like Xavier Howard, whatever people can say he's washed, whatever. He was injured. Our other corners, Brian Jones didn't play. Our scheme is solely dependent on cornerbacks because it was fucking zero blitz. You need to play your guy, otherwise you're not doing anything because that guy's one-on-one with you. It's your guy versus you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And last year, like I said, like we didn't even have Brian Jones. Xavier Howard's injured. We got like undrafted rookies playing, and we're running this fucking dog shit, the hardest scheme in NFL pretty much. And you wonder why our defense was terrible. Like,
nah, 100%.
I also think too, there's no need once we got Bradley Chubb that we couldn't get 4-man pressure because we had Jalen Phillips, we had Christian Wilkins, and then we have Bradley Chubb that we traded for. Like that team alone should be able to get 4-man pressures easily. You don't need to be blitzing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm really hoping with Vic Fangio that he just unlocks that defense and basically does what Mike McDaniel did for our offense, upgrades it.
Yeah.
Because that shit is much needed.
That's what y'all need. All right, next we got the Pats. This is a C-tier team for me. I feel like you can't count out Bill Belichick. That's why I wouldn't put him in D. But I just don't like this roster, man. Like, I know they got some players, but I think this division is literally taking another step up every year. And I feel like the Pats have either stayed the same or went down. Like, I think the Pats end up 4th in this division.
I mean, you now have an Aaron Rodgers-led Jets, a Tua-led Dolphins, and then a Josh Allen-led Bills. Like,
yeah,
those quarterbacks have all done something at some point in time, and I feel like Mac Jones has been very average to kind of like below average.
I agree.
Especially last year, so I'm not sure what kind of Mac Jones we get. Do we get like the average one or we get the below average one? I don't know, but like you said, I feel like everyone else is upgraded while this team is downgraded.
So are we thinking what, C?
I think they're like probably almost like one of the back of C teams.
Yeah, I think so. I don't like this team at all. Moving on, we got the Jets. I think, again, we've always said the Jets are a quarterback away. I don't necessarily trust Aaron Rodgers that much, but I do think he takes them in the right direction, right? Like, I think I would be okay putting him in A tier just because this defense is nasty. They have weapons. Like, they have all the pieces. All they've been missing was a quarterback. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I guess, like, I'm trying to think of it. Like, I would definitely take one of the Lions. The Vikings, maybe, probably, just because I feel like they're a bit more balanced.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm fine with it.
I like it. Moving on.
It's just a lot harder because it's a 40-year-old quarterback, essentially. You're putting all your eggs in that basket, and
no, for sure.
Fuck if you know he's going to be good or not.
I think no matter what, I think he's going to be better than Zach Wilson, right? So I feel like that's a step up regardless.
100%. I feel like his floor is Zach Wilson's ceiling.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I think they're in good hands there. Again, I don't think it's the MVP Aaron Rodgers they're getting, but even if they get quarterback Aaron Rodgers and not MVP Aaron Rodgers, I think that's enough.
They just get like a top 15, top 20 quarterback.
It's better than a top 50 quarterback, which is what Zach Wilson is.
Jesus.
That's funny. Next, we got the Bills, who I don't trust, man. I don't trust Josh Allen. He's so hit or miss. I know most people probably put him in S. Do we put him in S?
I think so. Like, look at the rest of the teams. I think they got to go up there with the Chiefs.
If we're putting four teams in there.
No, they got to go top of it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Because if we're putting 4, it's got to be 2 NFC and 2 AFC, right? That's only fair.
Yeah. Sorry.
I like the Bengals over the Bills, so that's why I would choose them over.
Yeah. 100%. I agree.
Okay. Moving on, we got the Texans.
The Bengals were already in there.
Yeah. We got the Texans, who we had a D last year. And again, I can see the case being made for D. But again, I feel like there's a case for C. Like, I think they take a step forward. They got a quarterback. I think we probably put him in D just because, again, question mark. He's a rookie. There's a lot of young guys on that team. And I just don't know what to expect. I'm optimistic, but I don't know what to expect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard team to judge. I feel like you're relying on pretty much all your rookies, second-year type players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you're still kind of in that rebuild, not at the end of it. So we'll see what happens. I mean, you got a brand new coach. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he fires you guys up the fucking right way and he takes you to the wild card. But it's a tough fucking conference, man.
It's a weird conference too, because everybody's getting new quarterbacks, right? Like, Will Levis is. If you take Ryan Tannehill out of this situation and say Will Levis is a starter, which I feel like at some point he probably will be, he's the oldest quarterback in the division. He's older than Trevor Lawrence. Like, it's such a young quarterback division that it's a weird division to judge as well. But yeah, I really think we're taking steps in the right direction and we're making all the right moves. So I'm very optimistic. But again, just don't know what to expect for him. Moving on, we got the Colts. They got a rookie quarterback too. They were very bad last year.
Overall pick, wasn't it? Yeah.
Number 4.
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. Again, like, I know that this roster was talented 2 years ago, and it's still talented. Like, I get that, but they didn't perform last year. Like, I know they didn't have a quarterback.
Like, if you look at this roster, it has a lot of notable players like Quentin Nelson. I don't know what his name is anymore, but it's the linebacker Lawson, I think his name is, or something. Leonard. That's his name. I don't know what his name. He changed his name. I'm not sure what it is now. But like, I feel like this team just has players, like Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor. Like, if you're a fantasy player or like a NFL fan, like, these players, you see them all the time, but like, it just doesn't seem like they have chemistry. Like, just didn't click together last year, and I don't know if a new coach and a fucking new quarterback is gonna change that much. But I don't know. We'll see. I feel like it's definitely a C tier team though.
Okay.
Like it's got potential. I think they're better overall than the Texans are. Like, no disrespect, but
No. I think their roster's a little bit better. I'm not afraid of their roster, but I think it's a little bit better.
we'll just have to see. Like if these players can bounce back. Like is Jonathan Taylor gonna be Jonathan Taylor again? Is their defense gonna be decent? Like I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, because we did not expect them to be that bad last year. Like we didn't expect them to. I think we had them as division winners potentially, right? Like,
I think so. Yeah.
So it's like we expected them to be decent, but it's like everybody on their team just took a shit. Like they had one
Everyone
of them
just checked out.
Yeah, they had the most expensive O-line. They played like shit. Like their
They
defense was pretty good.
MVP from last year. He didn't play that good either.
So it's like I think this roster.
Their defense was bottom 4 last year.
Yeah, this roster has the capability to be good. Maybe a new coach changes it. But next we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who
surprised everyone. I feel like
are what?
Surprised everyone. I feel like
they really did. Trevor Lawrence played great. He took a step up. I think he takes another step this year. Their roster is pretty much the same. If anything, they just added players. There's a question mark at left tackle because old boy's getting suspended or already has, one of the two.
Is it Cam?
Yeah, Cam Robinson.
Cam Robinson.
Yeah. But
they get Calvin Ridley back.
Yeah, they get Calvin Ridley back. So it's like, I feel like this is an A tier team, maybe high B.
I think they're definitely A.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
They came back and beat the Chargers in the playoffs. Bro.
Yeah, that was a hell of a game. Hell of a game.
We got a team in there that didn't even make the playoffs last year. There's no way they're not.
That's true. That is true. Next we got the Titans, who I think are in shambles.
I think this is a D tier.
I think so as well. Yeah, like I like the Texans over the Titans so much. You know what I mean? Like I'm not scared of the Titans by any means.
I feel like the Titans team is really going to be stack the box and do not let Derrick Henry truck or stiff arm you, and
I think they
Ryan
always
Tannehill might be done after this year.
Yeah, they always end up competitive, like because they have Mike Vrabel. Like, but this roster I don't like at all. You know what I mean?
100%. I think this team's going to get out talented a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
Like maybe they'll be coached enough to make the plays, whatever. But at the end of the day, talent, I feel like pretty much almost always wins.
Yep, 100%. All right, next we got the Raiders, who were bad last year.
And they're going to be bad this year.
Got a new quarterback. This is
they
definitely
got a mid-tier quarterback.
This is a mid-team, you know what I mean?
They lost Darren Waller to the Giants. Josh Jacobs is on a 1-year deal, if he even signs it. And then I'm trying to think. Did they bring back they have Hunter Renfrow, right?
Yeah.
So they're pretty much their weapons are potentially Josh Jacobs if he signs it, which I'm assuming he probably would. Yeah. And then you got Jimmy G at quarterback, who you substituted out for Derek Carr, which honestly
the
seems
same
like
guy.
It's either the same guy or like a slight decline, depending on who you who you're more high on. And then it's like almost the same offense with less weapons. I feel like.
Well, they replaced Waller with Michael Mayer. Granted, he's a rookie. We don't know what he takes back.
Tight ends never do anything.
Yeah.
Like rookie tight ends.
Yeah.
They're always like mid or bad.
Yeah.
Until they're like year 2, year 3. And like we talked about too, like their defense is like one of the worst. Again, like top 10, I think, last year.
Are we saying D then?
I mean,
I'm not against it. Like,
I think so.
Yeah. I think the Raiders, there's a lot of
high hopes. I think they can put up like
them.
20 points, but the defense gives up like 30, 40.
Yeah. And I think we've also been burned too many times by the Raiders and the Broncos on this podcast. So I think we're both over it at this point. Moving on, we got the Chargers, okay? We always talk about the Chargers. Inconsistent, should have fired their coach, never good in the spotlight. This is a B-tier team for me. Like, I don't trust them. I know their roster is talented as all get out, but I just don't trust them, man. Like, prove it. You know what I mean? Prove it.
This is a team that has talent, but just doesn't get coached right.
Yeah.
I feel like.
100%.
And they just can't stay healthy.
Yep. They're getting their guys back this year, so
I
we'll
like
see.
it. This guy didn't even have to discuss it. He just put the Super Bowl.
I'm just
defending Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
Like, nothing to say about it.
Nothing to say. Moving on. Next
Travis
we got
Kelce's that guy. Patrick Mahomes is that guy. Like,
yeah, they're just too good, man. They always figure it out. Next we got the Broncos. I'm cool with putting them next to the Raiders. You know, just gotten burned too many times, but it's a talented defense. They got Sean Payton now. What do we think?
I mean, let's see. Their defense, where was it? Their defense from points per game, it looks like they're around like top 15, maybe like 13, 14, something like that. Not bad. Top half of the league. But I don't know. I think their offense probably takes a step forward with Sean Payton. But
Yeah,
I don't think it's that much to put them in the B. I think it's a C tier team. Like, looking at these teams in here, I feel like they can compete with them.
yeah, I agree. I like it. All right. So now that we have that, we need to add an NFC team to the S. Probably the Niners, right?
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Which is funny because those were the 4 teams in the conference championships, right? Wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think we keep it honestly the same order we have it too.
Yeah.
For the S tier, like,
yeah, I like it.
I don't see how you can put the Eagles below the Bengals or the 49ers, honestly.
No, I agree. Then next we have, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Do we need to have 10 in this category? That way it makes it 14
What, for the
A, because these are our playoff teams, right?
okay.
So how many AFC do we have? Hold on. Wow, we have our 5 AFC teams already. That just goes to show you how much better the AFC is than the NFC. So we need NFC teams. We need 3 of them.
I think you move the Vikings. I think just take those 3 teams there from B, then just move them up. Like the Vikings, Lions, and
Okay.
Giants. Because other than that, I'm looking at it. Any other team that can make it is the Panthers.
I was going to say we need an NFC South team, but I don't know if I want to make the jump of one of them going to A.
Yeah, no.
That's a big jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I think we just leave it like that. Like, I know it's not realistic in the sense of one of these teams wouldn't make it and it would be an NFC South team, but I'm not making a jump that high for one of them. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So that would be our Super Bowl contenders, our playoff teams, and then are we really gonna have one team in B tier?
I think honestly, like, just put who was it? The Vikings, the Giants, and the Lions back there. Honestly, back to B.
And then we just leave it how it is. I'm cool with that too.
Yeah,
we don't have to. Okay, yeah.
I don't think we. So let's just do A real quick. So, I think the Bills are probably at the top.
I like the Ravens that high too.
I like the Dolphins there. I think the Jaguars could jump the Jets.
Where do the Seahawks fit in this?
I honestly would rather have the Seahawks over the Jags if that's fine with you.
Over the Jags?
My
I think
opinion.
so too. I like that roster a lot.
And then I'm down to put the Cowboys all the way behind the Ravens. And then I think that's fine.
The Cowboys behind the Ravens?
I think so. I think they have a better team than
Yeah.
overall than our team, and like their defense was like top 3 I think
Yeah.
last year, so
I like
I
it.
think that's fine. For B, I put the Vikings over the Chargers. I think I put the Chargers last, and then I leave it like that, honestly. If you're cool with that.
It's just
Like
so hard
Vikings,
because
Giants, Lions.
that Chargers.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck. Fuck the
It's so
Chargers. They're a
talented
good
though,
team,
bro. Like
but they suck.
I
I don't
know.
care.
I
I'm
hear
not.
you.
I'm.
No. I hear you.
They're gonna
I
be
agree.
our Broncos Raiders team this year. On
Yeah.
God, I already know it.
Yep.
We're gonna put them in the A or something, and they just suck ass.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not falling for fool's gold no more.
I hear you. All right, and then here.
But I think that's good, right?
Yeah. No,
So
I
far?
like that. That works.
And then let's see. So then we have the Steelers. I think the Broncos probably go first.
Yeah, I think
now.
so.
I think the Panthers are better than the Saints. I don't know if they're better than the Browns and the Steelers, though.
I don't think so. What about the Commanders? Do we think they're better than the Panthers?
I think they're kind of on par with each other. Not gonna lie.
I think so.
They both got talent. It's just a matter of what they do with it. I think the Bucks over the Saints, and then
I'm cool
I'm down
with.
to move the Colts up.
Yeah.
Up to behind the Saints, somewhere around there.
I was gonna say the same thing. And then I think the Pats maybe like here with the Packers, and then I think I prefer the Falcons over the Bears a bit. That's kind of how I'm looking at this.
So let's see. So if you had first pick, second pick, third pick, fourth, fifth, so you basically say like the Packers are like the Bears are like the fifth worst team.
I feel like that's about on par where most people think.
Yeah, like sixth, fifth, somewhere around there. Yeah, I can get on board with that. I was looking at it now, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So like your Dolphins are the 8th power ranked team. Seahawks are 9, Jags are 10, Jets are 11, Vikings 12, Giants 13, Lions 14, and then 15 is the Chargers. Like essentially, what is almost half the teams right there.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, that makes sense. Just looking at it again. So you got the Broncos, Steelers, Browns, Panthers, Commanders. Yeah, I think that's fine with that.
All right, and then D tier.
I think the Cardinals go last. I think they're getting the first overall pick.
Yeah.
And then I think the Rams go second last.
This is how I like it. Let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking.
Okay. I think you can make a case for the Raiders over the Texans, but I think I'm more optimistic about the Texans than I am the Raiders, and that's unbiased. You know what I mean? Like, just been burned too many times by the Raiders.
All right, so I think that's done then, right?
I like it.
Anyone up? I don't think we're moving anyone down.
No, I like it.
All right, so looking at this, who's a team in either C or D that you think is going to surprise us?
Oh, okay.
You got to think.
I think it's the Panthers.
You think the Panthers are going to surprise us by making a jump to the playoffs?
I think they win the division. Like I said this earlier, like I don't trust this division. I like the Panthers roster. I know it's Bryce Young as a rookie, but I think they could win the division. I think it's going to surprise some people.
You know what's crazy to me is that both South divisions in each conference are pretty much known for being dog shit.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Which is even crazier because if you think about, like, I feel like a lot of good talent comes from the South of the United States. So it's like, it's even crazy that that's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird.
Yeah. So you picked the Panthers. I'd probably go with the Broncos, even though it's kind of an obvious pick. But I feel like if Russell Wilson played like how he did at the end of the year with Sean Payton, there's no way that team doesn't like compete. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
like
their
it.
defense has pretty much like been filled out completely. It's just a matter of what Russell does.
Yeah.
If he plays like the Russell we saw where he wasn't throwing as many touchdowns as he has bathrooms, then yeah, we're in trouble. Like,
Oh God.
and then my other question is, what's a team that you think from S, A, or B that you think might disappoint us?
Ooh.
I'm already thinking right now it's gonna be the Jets. No hate, no. I know it's kind of a biased pick because it's a division rival, but I really don't know what Aaron Rodgers are gonna get.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of thinking that defense regresses from maybe like a top 5 to maybe like top 12, 13.
Okay.
And then Aaron Rodgers takes an even bigger step down.
All right. I'm looking at it and it's like the top 4 I don't think are gonna surprise me.
Okay.
Like you can
Like
maybe
disappoint
say
you?
yeah, you can maybe say the 49ers take a step back, but even then I think with that roster, they're still gonna be floating around the A tier. And then the Ravens, I've already said, are going to take a step up. I like the Dolphins. I like the Seahawks, the Jags. I'm not as like non-confident as you are in the Jets. Like I think they'll be fine. So I've got to say the Cowboys, dude. Like I think the Cowboys are going to be dog shit. And I think that's I don't know. I don't trust Dak Prescott, man.
I mean, I feel you.
I don't trust him. But it's hard though, because like I genuinely don't see any of these teams surprising us. Like you could maybe say the Bills as well, just because Josh Allen likes to be a little hit or miss sometimes. So I could see that as well, but I just like all these other teams more than the Cowboys, so I think I got to say the Cowboys. But that's a tough one.
Not gonna lie to you. The Bills was my other probably my other answer.
I could see it.
Because I think that defense, like not even a defense, I think that team as a whole kind of ran its course.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that window is pretty much shutting. And like there's just like a crack, like it's open a little crack for the wind to come through, and you can hear it, but I just don't see them going through it.
I could really see that as well.
Like this team is pretty much Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah.
And so far they haven't had any luck, so we'll have to see how it works out for them. But I really don't like Josh Allen.
It's not that I don't like him; it's just I don't like that. I don't trust them, and I don't like that they can't help the guy out. You know what I mean? Like, make it easier for him.
Like, they didn't get any of the running backs.
Yeah, I don't get it. Well,
but
that's gonna be our team rankings. Let us know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know that we suck and we should never do a podcast again, because I know that's how most people feel. God forbid anybody does a podcast because it's fun. It's a big deal nowadays, but little rant over. You got anything else, Nick?
Be safe out there.
Yep. Y'all have a good week.
Weekend coming up. I don't know if it's in for you, but it's coming up in Canada. So.
What holiday is it?
Victoria Day. I don't think you have that.
Never heard of Victoria Day in my life. So, for all you Canadians out there, enjoy your long weekend. We'll be slaving away.
It's been fucking nice out too for the weather, so I've been enjoying that. It's nice to not fucking be freezing your balls off out there. And
dude, it's 90 degrees here in Texas.
Yeah, see, you're in a fucking desert. I don't care what you say.
It's more like a swamp, but yeah.
No, the swamp is BUN. It's fucking Florida. Wait, we had people in the chat. I didn't even realize. I was full screen the whole time.
Yeah, I was talking to Mo. Yeah, well.
Yeah, follow the Twitch channel. Subscribe to the YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. Like Craig said, tell us we suck. Tell him the most, though. He can take it. He's got thick skin.
I do. Is that a fat joke?
What? Nobody brought up weight. Jesus. This guy just wants you to feel bad for him.
Yes, I do. Anyways, we appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all have a good week, and we'll catch y'all next week. Peace.